Hey there, and welcome to Factorio. My name's Brune, and we're playing Exotic Industries, a mod for Factorio. In our last episode, we had just finally got pure gold, and that is going to be used to go into our semiconductor wafers. We also need to turn this pure gold into crushed gold, which is a multi-step process, along with creating hydrofluoric acid. So I was just in here before I started recording, just kind of double checking some things so I could get my bearings again. Today's the next day on my weekend, and so it's just kind of waking up in the morning and having at this stuff. But I think the energy crystals from acidic water, because that is a byproduct of a lot of different things. At least I thought it was. I thought it was a byproduct of something. I'm sure I'll run into it again. But my plan today is to work on getting energy crystals and semiconductor wafers onto the bus. Excuse me. So now I want to add those down here. The problem is that I do have that beautiful copper deposit there that could very, very easily be delivering, more copper up to here if we need it. And so one might go here and the other might go on the other side. But yeah, and I think I might have to go and do some biter clearing. Here, oh yeah, I won't be able to really use any true grid stuff still until we get the solar panels made. So this looks interesting. As if this is a almost more cost efficient way of making the red circuits. I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but that's eventually what we're going to be leading into, is making also more of these red circuits, getting those on the bus. Okay, that takes a lot of sulfuric acid. Holy smokes. Okay, so looking at this, we have a 10% chance after spending 100 sulfuric acid to get an energy crystal. Is what I think I'm reading from this. That most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it will just give us 9 sand back. And the 10th time, it will give us 1 single energy crystal. Holy crap. That is an insane amount of waste of sulfuric acid. Oh my goodness. So definitely want to work towards the crystal grower. So I really love doing, I'll be able to show you here in the future, but I love doing looped production lines like this, where it takes in an energy crystal gives out 2 energy crystals. And so what you want to do is you want to let one of those energy crystals go down the belt and go off to wherever they need to go, and the other energy crystal to feed directly back into the machine. There's a couple different methods to do it without having to use any sort of logic or anything like that. It's just how you just lay out your belts and splitters and undergrounds and things like that that you can make that happen. And that's why I like it so much. It's just because it's so interesting to be able to do it without having to do complicated logic stuff. So I think maybe, yeah, I think I almost want to start with the energy crystals. And to do that, I'm going to honestly just make 1 energy crystal with this recipe, and then I'm going to carry it down here, and it's going to start the entire thing. So maybe I should just save the very first energy crystal and put it in a special chest near this, so I always remember the very first energy crystal that gave me the, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands that I'll need eventually. Okay, so we're going to need to bring acidic water down this way, and I will make this one up there. Okay, or well, up there as in over here near where the sulfuric acid and stuff actually is. This one should be very, very easy once we... This one should be very, very easy once we get this very first crystal. I wonder if I have the machines I need. Well, here's stone. Perfect. Because I need that for a crusher. I don't have electronic crushers. Now I do. Okay. There's power directly below here. Great. Oh, and actually, I have... Do I have stone over there at all in any capacity? No. Do I have one of the stone quarries? I'll just make an electric stone quarry. It'll be fancy. But I have this like little mini setup over here with its own full fluids and things, so I might as well use these up. I have a giant tank of sulfuric acid right here. I don't see any reason not to utilize all of this. So let's throw down the electronic stone quarry. That's going to go into a crusher. This crusher is going to be making sand. Oh, interesting. That's what we do with the faulty semiconductor wafers. I was kind of wondering what we actually did with them. Okay, so we'll get that will give us our sand, and so then to get an energy crystal the first time comes out of a chemical plant. So actually, because this is one of those loop-de-doops as well, and so now I have to think about how I was actually planning to do essentially a loop. Here, we'll just actually, no, I do want to do the loop. Oh wait, but this one isn't making extra. This one just uses 10 and outputs 9. Right? Yes. Uses 10, outputs 9. So, what we're going to do is use a chest and a little bit of logic. I'm going to move this closer to the crusher. So now this will be set to only input. And so we can see on the right, I can't move my mouse over there to show, but on the right it says hand stack size 3. We should be able to, override that here, because we want this to have very fine. Actually, no, it shouldn't make that big of a deal. I like to do it anyways, because then I can keep it very, very proper to the numbers I want them to be. So this one is only going to work if there is less than 10 sand in that chest. Where's the sand at? So I think we should end up with like 19 in there, because it'll take 10 out, go down to 9. This will add one in, bringing it back up to 10, and then we'll have 19 in there. Yep. That is what we will do here. So then we will have an output that takes everything out, slams it in there, and oh wait, do we have filter inserters yet? Aha, we do. Because I technically do need a filter inserter. So this one will be set to only take sand. So we'll end up with 1 energy crystal in there eventually. Okay. Ah, yes, we need steam. Forgot about that. Well, we have boilers, we have water, and we have coal. So we can for sure make some steam. I'll go like so. Steal this water source. Long-handed inserter from the coal. Okay, let's get some lights going on. Oh, I do have some lights over there. Go me. There we go. Now we can see a little bit what's happening over here. Let's add in the sulfuric acid. Okay, now it's just waiting for steam. Waiting for space in destination. Oh. I never set this correctly. That's funny. Okay. So now I want to think a little bit about this wafer situation while this makes a thing for us here. So It's really going to town. Um, Semiconductor wafers. Those are going to be a little sand setup like this. So more electric stone quarries, things of that nature. I am going to need to get hydrofluoric acid going. Before we can do the semiconductor wafers. Yep, it is definitely a 10% chance to get an energy crystal. Place your bets. Negative. No energy crystal. Okay, so one thing we can do is we can utilize this mode to this like kind of satellite mode to do a little bit of work from a distance while we're waiting for this. So we're going to set this to be our this thing making hydrofluoric acid, because what I want to do is figure out some ratios here. Where is the fluorite? That is made in an assembly machine from dirty water. Ooh, we finally have one. Fantastic. The holy energy crystal. Oh, I suppose it still has sulfuric acid in it. I'm like, what? It's still going. Okay. Get my assembler here. So what I want to do is check these ratios. So this needs 1 a second. This does not make 1 a second. Okay, so wow, we need lots of fluorite. I thought it was the complete opposite, that you needed like 20 of these for a single fluorite machine or something like that, but I guess not. So, and it's not quite 3 to 1. I wonder what the ratio is here. 1 second crafting time, so that needs, just 1 a second. While this has a 2 second crafting time. What? Oh, this also has a speed of 0.75. That's where the weirdness comes in. So that should suffice. Now, I'm curious about potentially setting up a dirty water maker. In our fluid zone. Oh, I suppose we could also potentially get rid of slag as well. Make dirty water. But we could set up an area where we can make dirty water directly from a sand setup like this. Right here. Let's see here. It's dirty water. Yeah, we will set up something like that. But oh yeah, I wanted to check the slag situation. So I'm curious how slag production has been holding up, or at least slag destruction. And it looks like it's been working great. Where does that stone go? Oh, it comes down here to stone bricks. These are just, oh, they're all just filling up with stone bricks. Okay, well, that's cool. Eventually, those will fill up. This lane will fill up with stone, and it looks like this will back up. Ooh, enough technology has been acquired to progress further. Unlocked computer age. So that must mean now I have access to, yes, I can research the yellow science. Get in here, yellow science. I'm not going to do anything with you yet, but get in here, yellow science. Let's see here. Physical projectile damage. That actually could be much more important than just having the yellow science online here. I don't know if you remember in one of the last episodes when I was fighting the big biters, the very large one. It didn't go too well. Yeah, it's looking good. I'll just add on some random ones here. So yeah, eventually we will need to do something with the slag. And so, and I think probably turning it into dirty water is going to be the best option. So, yeah, I think I'll actually put a, just like a purifier or something in here. And we'll have that create dirty water and send it up to our fluid bus that will be, well, technically it is right here, but I have room for it to maneuver down into the main bus, or when we add red circuits and other things like that. So because it takes 3 to fuel 1 machine, we're going to need to do something kind of like what we did here with all the science. Oh, you can't even see because I don't have stuff. But we'll do things like this where the output will then loop around, so we can add more fluorite down if we need to feed however many machines we have on that side. Okay. Now, we're going to just Control X this and paste it up here. For now, because I want to take this energy crystal down and use these crystal growers I have to try and get crystals online first. Yeah. Okay. Went a little further there than I needed to, but I want to grab the acidic water. So I could probably just follow it that direction. see here. Should be right about there, actually. That's strange. Gotta do it like this then. And what I'm trying to do is plan for eventually if I need to curve the other items this way. The other fluids, I should say. Line it back up like that. So far, so good. Pump here. And this one will just go all the way down here. I feel like I left my car somewhere. That's all right. Let's do this and then put pump right there. So now, yep, we're gonna put energy crystals right here next to all of that stuff. Okay. So now I need to just think for a moment on how I intend to do my loop setup. I for sure want these machines like so, connected with pipes for the input. So because inserters output onto the outside lane, there's something we can do to make it so that the outside lane is always open, because that's the goal here. The arms need to have a place to output, and this is something you can do in vanilla Factorio too, and that's why I'm not trying to abuse that thing, being able to just force it to drop in the inside lane. But so if we let's line them up like so. We imagine this looping around. Okay. What we can do is, say over here, we can force all of the stuff to the inside lane by having it come in one like this and go in like that. And so as these output, it's all going to get pushed onto this inside lane, and so there should never be anything that these should always have a place essentially to be putting theirs, is the goal here. Now, because it's all forcing it to the inside lane, what we can do is we can use a splitter, say over here, and we can set it to output priority to the left. And because they'll always have a place to put things on the outside of the belt will be able to always go through this part of the splitter, or should at least. If if this is all running and we're pulling them off of here correctly, it should. And so eventually what's going to happen is the inside lane will become so full of crystals that then crystals will then be forced out through the output that is not priority on the inside lane. And so we should never actually have crystals come out on the outside lane with this setup. So another thing, so I actually want to move this over to here and have it being forced on directly before the splitter. And or maybe I'll want it to be afterwards. I can't remember exactly, but how's power doing? Oh, great. How's our biter situation? Not too bad either. Okay, let's connect in some power here. Oh wait, I also want to have an input that is after the output. So technically this should be a self-sustaining thing where this will output to, this should grab the one it needs and should input it, and one would continue on down the line. So let's do it like I don't think that's blocking me now from powering that. That's okay. Okay, let's connect up our acidic water here. Now let's place a crystal in this machine. As soon as it comes out, I'm actually going to pick up that first crystal, and I am going to. I do love the idea of just having this right here. Do I have any stone bricks? Oh, it took 2 of them. Get over here, crystal. You're the one. Okay. Do I have a few stone bricks? I do. Great. This is the crystal. Started it all. So now once this one becomes full of extra crystals, and actually I should be able to take out these crystals. I have like the hiccups for some reason, and get these rolling, so this should actually kick off much faster. Yeah, you can see how as this one outputs it, the other inserter immediately puts it right back in. Beautiful. Okay, so I will move this output over to here. It has plenty of space to kind of stack these up. I'm also going to give it one of these maneuvers. I don't know what you'd really call this. I saw someone make a video about how he calls these little widgets as far as ways to do these belt maneuvering tricks. I wonder how many it'll hold inside before it Well, maybe 3. We already have some going around the inside. Oh, wonderful. This is exciting. Yeah, you needed crazy, crazy, crazy amounts of energy crystals. I remember in 248K. I remember having like 2 or 3 just large section, like of these crystal growers with tons of the buildings just going to town doing this exact setup, just looping crystals in and out. Because as you can see, this is pretty slow with how we are making crystals. I want to do one little thing. This is very important, very important. There we go. All right. So, yeah, I think this is a good spot to end this episode. I think eventually we will move this contraption we have down here and add on many more buildings, depending on how many energy crystals we actually need to do our research in other buildings and things like that. But yeah, I don't know exactly which ones, but there's been a few things I've seen that require the energy crystals. Maybe it was lasers or something. Yep, lasers. They're taking energy crystals to make, and we're going to need tons of those. But, yeah, I hope you're enjoying the series. Really appreciate everybody who's watching it, and I will see you in the next one where we're going to start working on, I think I'm going to come up here and actually get this fluorite and the hydrofluoric acid. The fluorite gave me a clue there. Glad I was able to figure that one out. All right. Anyways, thanks again for joining me. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope you have a good one.